Jem Morgan. For the record, my name is Jem Morgan, 4370 North Charles Drive, Kingman. Thank you. Over this past weekend, I became aware of several Facebook posts written by Luana Gillette, posts with extremely xenophobic and racist content, which is why I'm here this morning requesting the removal of Luana Gillette from her appointed position on the Mohave County Planning and Zoning Commission. Ms. Gillette is serving as a public servant, so her personal beliefs become relevant when they are contrary to the values of our community and present a conflict of interest with the purpose of the Planning and Zoning Commission. But to make my point, I will simply ask you this. Would you vote to approve a person who stood before this board and said to you, "Hello, my name is Jane Doe, and I would like to be appointed to a county commission that creates policy in the form of regulations throughout Mohave County. And as a matter of full transparency, I want you to know who I am, what I believe, and the thinking process that will guide my votes and inform the way I will advise the commission." Because I'll tell you, just when we thought we had put racism behind us, we got Obama, who set us back years. We have a country that is turning brown, which means that in no time at all, white people will be in the minority, whether it be because of interracial marriages or illegals coming across our border. The United States is becoming more and more brown. We have to fight for our country, for America, and America. We must stop minorities from coming here and trying to change us. We had better wake up before we lose America for our children and grandchildren. I don't want them coming here and bringing what they left with them. I want them to come here and become Americans. These are just some of the quotes from Luana Gillette's posts, and when read as one narrative, they present the same ghastly anti-immigrant rhetoric that fueled the recent mass shooting in El Paso. So I ask you honestly, would you really vote to approve a person to the Planning and Zoning Commission who fully disclosed these values and beliefs? The first inhabitants of Mohave County are the brown-skinned Wallapai, Moccasin, and Fort Mohave tribes who experienced ethnic cleansing, were forced into government-sanctioned reservations within this county, separated from their family, living below the border, and told they could no longer teach their native language in public schools. White privilege wanted them to be Americans too. There should be no place for xenophobic racism to guide and inform our county process. Please remove Luana Gillette from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you.
Okay, there are several people signed up on this topic. Mr. Espelin, again, if a private citizen's being talked about and they're not here, that's okay.
It's a First Amendment speech. The person has that ability to speak and
I just wanted to make
do
sure.
that. Sure.
All right, then let's bring down Mark Shaver.
My name is Mark Shaver. I live at 4054 West Healer Drive, Meadview, Arizona, 86444. I came across this post because we're friends, and her stuff, when it comes on my newsfeed, become public. And I find it very disturbing that her views about minorities so compelling that I find myself coming here and speaking. This is a very rare thing for me to be out here in the public. Words matter, so much so that I threw out my speech that I had written last night because what the president said this morning pretty much echoes my feelings. And if you are disturbed, as I am disturbed, by her writings, which you all have a copy before you now, then it's hard-pressed for me to see that you don't see what the right thing to do in this matter. I'm not here to step on anyone's free speech. I'm here to voice my concern about the content of that speech and the reflection that she poses as an advisor to this board. Now, I shouldn't have to go any further than that, because if you truly believe in what the President of the United States said this morning, then you only have one correct option to do, and that is to voice your concern to the man who appointed her in some fashion, either privately, collectively, in an executive session, whatever. But you can't no longer sit idly by now that this is now in the public record. Your silence within the coming few days as reporters question you, hopefully, about this, that you will give the right answer that serves the best interest of all citizens in Mohave County. That includes the minority. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary McCord Robinson.
Good morning. I'm Mary McCord Robinson, 2626 North Twin Hills Road, Kingman. I too am here to talk about Luana Gillette and her post, and I do agree she has the right under free speech to do that. There were quite a few disparaging comments in there that do cause me concern, and her ability to be in her job and be unbiased when making recommendations. I have heard from many people in the last 24 hours at the small business level, women-owned small businesses, minority-owned small businesses, and some of those individuals are fearful of even coming here and sharing their concerns with you for fear of retaliation to their business. Some of the comments are, if they want to expand and they want to bring things forward, they don't believe, again, that this person can be unbiased. Her discriminatory views are out there in the open. Her comments are open. Yeah, I would be concerned I'm in an interracial marriage, right? If my husband and I were to come forward and present something and she were there, could she really be objective? From a workplace safety, I would be concerned of, how is she going to retaliate? And I do wish that she would have been here today and could speak on her behalf. There have been comments made back to her asking her for clarification on some of her comments, and she stands firm on her beliefs. And that's fine. We should all be given that right to do that. But again, in her position, serving the public, it just gives me concern. And I think whether it's removal, which would be my choice, I would be concerned, and I would encourage some serious coaching and counseling from a management leadership perspective as she represents all of you when she makes those comments. Thank you.
Sharon Weber.
My name is Sharon Weber. I live at 715 Parkview Avenue in Old Kingman, right on the hill. And I just became aware of these statements yesterday. And I would agree with everyone who's spoken on this issue about Ms. Gillette prior to me. She does have the right to believe whatever she wants to believe. She has the right to say whatever she wants to say. However, in the last 48 hours, in this country, we have seen 2 mass shootings. One of the common threads in those shootings, and most of the other ones we've seen in the last year, are elements of racist language, rhetoric that inspires people to fear that they're being invaded, taken over by dark elements from other places. This county is made up of many different people from different races, different religions, different ways of looking at things. If we allow public officials paid by tax dollars to publicly espouse racist and xenophobic views, we are contributing to what may be a very dangerous situation in our own county, amongst our own people. There is no place for that in public life. It is true that somebody who works for the county is held to possibly a higher standard than somebody that works at Walmart, because they represent the county and they are paid for by us. And a whole bunch of us are brown and yellow and red and different. And if you all can't represent all of us, then you should not have a public position. Now, I don't know what y'all are planning to do, but something should be done. She should be spoken to or censured. My personal preference is I can't see that somebody, what happens when an African American couple or a Mexican couple apply for something through planning and zoning? Do they get slid aside? This is an untenable situation, and you all need to think about it clearly, because what you do and what you decide sets the tone for our county. Thank you.
Mark Niski.
Mohave County Board of Supervisors, good morning. My name is Mark Niski. I am a resident 735 Woodcrest Circle. I stand before you here today representing Kingman Freethinkers, a secular society of approximately 160 members locally. To the best of my knowledge, on or about July 29, Luna Gillette issued the Planning and Zoning, a series of Facebook posts that included the statement, "This is a Christian nation. I like it like that. It's what we have always been and what we were meant to be." We take umbrage with this statement. I will not take any of our time illustrating constitutional interpretations or SCOTUS decisions of what our nation is or is not. But we are neither meant to be, nor are we legislatively a Christian nation. We are a multicultural, multiracial, multireligious, and non-religious nation. We are, in essence, a free nation. By her actions, we at this point have lost confidence in her ability to provide unbiased advice and consent, unbiased oversight and guidance, exercise unbiased legislative, executive, or quasi-judicial powers. Ms. Gillette has the honor and responsibility of representing all members of her constituency, not just one group, and favoring them. We ask to see no less than a formal apology to the people of Mohave County and or Mohave County Board of Supervisors censure or replacement. I think it's an appointed position. I thank you for your time and your attention to this matter. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay, I think this next speaker has something to do with this. Tricia Christopherson. Tricia? Is that it? Tricia? I'm trying to figure it out.
Hi there. My name's Tricia Christopherson. I live at 1501 South Blake Ranch Road. That's also my mailing address. I'm here to represent myself and CADE, Kingman Area Diversity Endeavor, and I am also here to speak on Ms. Gillette's comments. I would like to assume that some of the posture I'm noticing is because y'all are so familiar with what we're discussing, not disinterest. Some of us here in this room have spent the better part of the last year working extremely hard at squashing what Sacha Baron Cohen exposed here in Kingman. As you may have seen, Sacha Baron Cohen painted our small town as an extremely racist area. I have grown up here in Kingman, Arizona, ever since 1984. We all knew it was here, but we like to pretend it wasn't. I think more often than blatant racism, we have a situation of isolation we just don't have a whole lot of exposure to other cultures. And I'd like to give Ms. Gillette the benefit of that doubt. So what I'd like to do here today is invite you as the Board of Supervisors to come to the roundtable discussion that Kate is hosting tomorrow, moderated by Roy Tatum, the president of the East Valley chapter of the NAACP. It'll be from noon to 2 p.m. at the Mohave County Library. We'll be covering systemic racism and its impact today. I too would like to see Ms. Gillette removed from her appointed position, but if that is not something that you feel is called for, I definitely feel that she should be in attendance tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, Steve Robinson.
And I thought what I had to say was going to be controversial. My name is Steve Robinson. My mailing address is 5373 Arizona Highway 68 in Golden Valley. I'm speaking about the call to the public. Last meeting, someone was afraid to give their name. It was said that he was mentally disturbed and that's why he wasn't. Yet we've heard people today talk about being afraid of retaliation by the county or by the board. Because sometimes what is said here is rather offensive from this position. I know because I've said some things that have been rather offensive. What I'm trying to propose is that we need to, two things need to happen. One, the people need to feel safe to speak here without fear of investigations. I've had people from the county government drive by my place and take photographs, have investigations done on us because we speak out. That needs to all stop. And one of the things I think, though, on the flip side is people should feel free to speak their mind like they have today, and that's good. But there are three things I recommend to make the call to the public, which one of the supervisors opposed, make it more friendly. One, don't require the address, just their city. It's not required in state law, according to the form. Two, I would recommend agendizing, at least for review at the next meeting, anything brought up at that so it can be addressed. Hey, yeah, we're looking at this issue. This is an important issue that was brought up, and that we're going to deal with it, or there's nothing we can do about it, because some things you can't do anything about that are brought up here. The third thing is that to make the Board of Supervisors meeting more citizen friendly, one of the things that Supervisor Gould brought up and you're looking at is moving the meetings to city to help get more people involved. I would recommend one more thing that would really make it more citizen friendly. It's done in other counties. Have an evening meeting, at least once a month, have an evening meeting. All the department heads are salaried. They don't get overtime no matter how many hours a week they work. Employees have flex time. They can take off in the morning and be here in the evening. Yeah, sometimes the meetings go really long. In the past, those meetings have gone into the next day when necessary. Thank God we don't have the meetings that were 2 days long going till 5 o'clock every day, but that's what has happened in the past. So making the call to the public more user-friendly, make these meetings more citizen-friendly would really help go a long way. And I'm going to do a lot more effort to be less confrontational in my speaking here at these meetings. Thank you.
Chris Cooper. And that ends the call to public, so I'm going to close the call to public, and we're going to go on. We have one presentation this morning to recognize members of the Treasurer's Office who recently completed the requirements for use of the Certified Government Investment Professional CGIP designation, and this is being presented by Cindy Landa-Cox, who is our Mohave County Treasurer.
Did you want to take comments on the call of the public?
Oh, okay, wait, hold. It's Supervisor, do you want to? say something in response to any of the call for public?
Yes, and I
Okay.
think you wanted to make comments on some of it, and maybe maybe other people. But I wanted to comment on.
Just so we can respond to criticism.
Right, I wanted to comment on the criticism about Mark Schaefer and the racism that's been portrayed on social media, and I just wanted to state that I would like to see this possibly placed on the agenda for the Planning and Zoning Commission to discuss this. So I see the director is making a note of that. So, and I did reach out to Mark and I sent Luana's supervisor an email regarding this. So maybe it's time that the P&Z Commission take a look at that.
Okay, what I wanted to say, I think, can wait until we talk about the budget. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about